Okay, hello. So this is gonna be like a little Bible study thing that I did. This is the first time I'm doing this, so like I'm a little nervous. So we're just gonna dive into it. So I actually left off on Exodus. I think it was like I had the last chapter I had read was like 3. So I was like, okay, I'm just gonna piggyback off of it. Mind you, I haven't read my Bible in like a while. So basically it's about Moses. So the Lord basically called Moses to like go to Pharaoh and like go to I think it's the Egyptian, or I forgot. I can't really think. Like I'm trying to like go to Egypt and to basically tell him like to free his people. Like you shouldn't be doing this. Like you're basically like having him do a bunch of like labor and stuff, right? I don't know if I'm like completely accurate at that, but Moses is like, I don't think that I can do this. Like I don't feel confident. I don't feel like I can really get this message out the way you want it to be portrayed, and like the way you want this message to be, like, So then he's like, okay, fine. Like, like I feel like I am enough for you to have that confidence and to actually put that into the world. But if you don't feel like you're confident, I'm just gonna give you help. So Aaron, his brother, he's like, you know what? You're gonna go with your brother, and you guys are both gonna spread basically my message. Like if you can't do it, like if you feel like you can't do it by yourself, you're gonna have your brother come. And obviously that's like a good idea. Each and every time, so like the first time he goes, he basically does this like magician trick of like, not magician trick, but like you guys know what I'm talking about, where like I think it's like he like a snake, or turns someone into a snake. Pharaoh can be like, okay, like the Lord is real, but it didn't work. It still didn't work for Pharaoh. He didn't care. He didn't believe it. He didn't think that it was anything worth taking seriously, right? Obviously, at this point, Pharaoh's like heart is stubborn. Like the Lord literally told Aaron and Moses, like his heart's gonna be stubborn. Like you're gonna have to keep doing it. Like you're gonna have to, like, every time they would come and like be like, you have to listen to the Lord. Like this is what the Lord is telling you to do. Like release his people. He would like, something bad would happen to his like to Egypt, or like his like, and then he would like feel it, but then he would just go back stubborn. Like he would feel it when it's happening, and then when it's away, he goes back to his normal self. That specifically stood out because I feel like that's what we do nowadays. Like we'll have something happen to it. Like the Lord will tell us like, listen to me, and then we won't. So then something happens, and then that's when we want to like finally call on the Lord. And then when he finally takes it away, we just go back to the same thing that we used to do. Yeah, and I feel like that specifically that was like punching me in my face, because it's like, girl, you literally do that. Like I'll like something bad will happen to me, and I'm just like, oh my gosh, like why is this happening to me? But then like I don't read my Bible, I don't pray, I don't fast, like I don't do the things that I'm supposed to do. I don't go into the world being as kind sometimes as I should be. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know how to explain it. It's just like there's like things where it's like leading up to the point, and I'm like, why is this happening to me? But it's like there were so many things leading up to the point where, for example, when Moses and Aaron were constantly telling him like, do this, he didn't want to listen. So then when it happened, he's like, oh my gosh, can you please take this away? And then when he takes it away, you just go back to the same thing, and it's just kind of like a constant cycle. Constant cycle. On Exodus 9:16, basically it was like a verse. It was like, but I have spared you for a purpose, to show you my power and to spread my fame throughout the earth. For this, I feel like he gives us so much grace. Like he gives us so much grace. Like I don't think we understand how much grace he gives us. And like specifically me, like I feel like me talking about this is me literally just expressing like he gives us so much grace that I don't even think we understand the amount of grace that he goes and just like lays down for us. The way that he kept on having Moses and Aaron, like he kept on like, go do this, go do that, like, and then Moses and Aaron would pray it away for Pharaoh, and then like he would just like go back to being a stubborn heart. And it's like the way that the Lord knew that Pharaoh's heart was going to be stubborn, but he still like spared him. Like he still gave him a chance, because he knew that like he could turn this into his good. Like he could turn this into his good somehow. Then I didn't finish the entire chapter. I'm still reading it, but this is just kind of where I stopped for today. 9:21, I wrote down like, not paying attention will cost you a great deal. Like not paying attention to what the Lord is telling you to do is like really detrimental. And honestly, for me, I'm not gonna lie, like I have a hard time kind of differentiating when it's like me overthinking it, or when it's someone telling me to pay attention. I've noticed that I have a good like intuition, and I feel like that's like my gift from the Lord, like kind of just like discerning certain things, and like really having that like way of reading energy and not being like completely stupid. Like, so I feel like that's my way, but like at times I can kind of like not pay attention. And then it's like, that's where it costs me, and then that's where I'm suffering, and that's where I'm like having to figure it out and go through these trials and tribulations to like process and understand what's going on in my life. 9:35, I wrote down, his heart being hard caused more to pile up than you realize reaping. Like basically like you reaped what you sow. Like that kind of ties back into like 9:21 of like not paying attention. Like things end up stacking up. You might do things because no one around you is telling you or holding you accountable. So then when it like piles up, you realize like, oh shoot, I just put myself in this really, really tight position, and now I have to reap what I sow. And sometimes that's good, sometimes that's bad. In this particular situation, I feel like Pharaoh, like he just thought that he had it all and that it could never be taken away. And it's like, who is this Lord? Who is this Jesus that you guys are talking about? Why could, like, if I have it all, why is this person that you guys constantly keep talking about? How and when and like where could he take this away from? You know what I'm saying? Like, what power does he have when I already have all this power? That's where it's like, we like, when I say me, I'm really just talking about me. I'm honestly just like reflecting of like how I've been. Followers of Christ and stuff, like, it's like hard to pay attention, and it's hard to like listen to the first few signs, and I think that that's why he gives us so much grace. But then it's like, I'm pretty sure, I didn't go like super deep into it, but I'm pretty sure eventually like he ended up like striking it down, and I think he did it actually striking it down. Like I think he struck down, and like a lot of people like died. He lost a lot of stuff. So paying attention is like a really big thing, for at least for me right now, like paying attention to what the Lord is telling me and like slowing down. Because like when I was reading it, in those moments I literally felt like Pharaoh. I'm like, there's no way. Like the fact that like, because honestly, you know what's so funny, I feel like timing is so perfect with him, because if I read this specific chapter 6 months ago, I would have never understood exactly what it was telling me. It was like as if me finally opening my Bible up months later, or however long it's been since I've opened it, and then like Exodus, like me picking back up on Exodus, and it's like, okay, like just like I'm just gonna kind of piggyback off of where I left off at, and then it's literally the story of constantly giving signs and constantly giving grace, and then you finally just realize like, you know what, I'm constantly giving you grace. Like I'm sending people to help you, I'm sending people to warn you, and you're not listening. So at this point, I'm going to handle it myself. At this point, I'm going to come in and I'm going to handle the situation, because clearly you're not handling the situation the way you're supposed to, and you're not doing the things that you need to do. Like, I think I'm just gonna start kind of focusing on like more like Bible study led content, and like just like in general, just trying to like be more like, you know, be like just like focus. I hear something, I don't know what that is, but yeah, I feel good. I think I need to like do more reflection, but yeah, so whatever, I don't know if like you need to hear this, but like paying attention and like not bye. I just realized I just got ate up. Not letting the Lord constantly have to tell you one too many times of what you need to do. Like it's like, listen the first time, and then he won't have to keep showing you, you know, too many times. So yeah, hope you guys enjoy, and yeah, bye.